And we're back. Second up, voted by people, is A Wonderful Life, also for the GameCube. I believe this is the first GameCube Harvest Moon game. Magical Melody was the second. This one, I feel like, is one that people have a lot of nostalgia for. Myself, to a certain extent. It does most things differently from a lot of the other Harvest Moons. There's not as much a focus on saving the farm or saving the town. This game, you're just living your life. And that's about it. Things move a little loosely, I think. It's actually 10 p.m. The game saves before you go to bed. So let's take a look at it. Either your dad or your grandfather has died and left you this farm. Inside this house is a fella, Takakura. He supposedly helps you out on the farm. He just buys things and sells things you've told him to buy and sell if you go in here. And then you do things on the farm, and that's about it. You go about a year just kind of building up the farm at first, but then after that point it becomes more focused on you living your life, falling in love, having a kid, watching the kid grow. To an extent, the game is more about your kid than it is about you. Don't think there are any obnoxious mini-maps. When it comes down to it, there's really not a whole lot to do. We're gonna see some of the things you can do. It's not a complete waste of time, but it's a game I feel like has more nostalgia going for it than its actual worth as a game. Yeah, it's right, depending on what you do. As your kid grows up, like, you play through the game from your youth here, at least young adult, then you get married and you get progressively older as time goes on. And your kid will also grow up along with you. Not a lot of other characters will, though. Like, it seems mostly just you that ages. And depending on what you do with the kid, if you're lucky, the kid will actually take on the farm for you. And if you have somehow managed to play the game for that long, you will actually take over as the kid and keep playing from there. This is actually... oh. One thing I like about this game that other Harvest Moons don't do is there's no real way to accidentally drop an item. The A button is just to let you look at the item and figure out what it is. Mugwort is basically just game's version of an herb. Also, an interesting thing about this game. There's not a specific set schedule for your character, necessarily. Just depending on when you go to bed, that will just decide on when you wake up. You wake up about 6 hours after you go to bed, so if I went to bed immediately after I'd started the game, it would be 4 in the morning. At the time, I thought this game looked pretty nice. Now I think it looks a little bit muddy. Kind of lacking in color. Yeah, I stopped playing before I ever reached the next stage of the kid. I had him and that was it. So this is a game that takes, like, it's a commitment to an extent. Just playing the game. Better camera control, at least. My cow's here somewhere. There she is. You start out with one cow. Takakura has bought one for you already. The cows lick you. Because they're dogs. I do like you don't have to actually use the milker tool. You can just go to the side of the cow, press A, and start milking. And you can milk multiple times during the day. The game seems to operate sort of like in half-day cycles. Sort of depending. Like, you water your crops at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, you'll be able to water them again. And with the cows, if you milk them one time during the day, you can milk them again later in the day. And I think I got, let's take a look, 3 milk out of that? Yep. And I believe this is one of the early Harvest Moons to introduce crop grades. So like I've got normal milk A. At the start of the game, the cow will only have milk B. If you give that to people in town, they'll still comment that it tastes pretty good. So it doesn't really seem to matter. What annoying thing is the camera is in reverse, sort of, so like, I press right, it moves left. Oh. This is Murray. He's homeless. And I think he steals shit from your farm. So I don't especially like Murray. For the record, if you've been following my various Harvest Moon streams, we played Harvest Moon DS previously. That is the DS remake of this game. Originally in Japanese, Harvest Moon DS is supposed to be a sequel to this game, taking place like 100 years after the original game. And all the characters, in Japanese they have different names, they're supposed to be their descendants. But in English they decided, no, those names are kind of stupid, so we'll return them to being the same characters. This is one of the people in town. There's some interesting characters, just in terms of design, in town, but nobody you'd be interested in as characters. No, constipated cow. This is Van, he's a traveling salesman. He comes to town every other day. You can sell things to him, or alternately, one cool thing I do like in this game, even though there's no shipping bin, what I can do, if I want to piss off Van, which I won't do just yet, but you can come over to this spot, the sell button will come up, and then you can actually set up a stand, and as only if people come along and walk past the stand, you can talk to them, and then they'll ask to buy something of yours. And this is actually a way to increase their friendship with them, because you'll have the option to sell it to them for the item's base price, or you can give it to them for a little bit cheaper, and they'll like you more if you give it to them cheaper. Okay, Van's going into the inn, so we'll see if we can actually sell something here. You have to wait for someone to come along, and then you have to wait for them to actually walk up to the stand. Sometimes people walk by and not actually want to buy anything. For the most part, these controls are a lot tighter than they are in Magical Melody. Look at this. I could almost do this to increase the coordination in my left hand, because I'm right-handed, but trying to spin it clockwise, not nearly as stable as counterclockwise. You are correct, you can, if you use the GBA GameCube link, you can connect to Friends of Mineral Town and unlock a few things. You can also do that in Harvest Moon DS. Oh, I'll let Van do what he needs to do. Looking forward to seeing how that looks. Here's Muffy. She's a character I was referring to earlier. She's supposed to be in, like, her 30s, but she looks younger. She's one of the bachelorettes. There's only 3 in this game. They added a 4th in the special edition. There's Celia, who works at the farm just across from your farm. You can see it from over there. She, you buy seeds from her. She's probably the easiest one to fall in love with. Then there's Muffy. And there's also Nami, who we saw in Magical Melody as the weather girl. She's the tomboy. Which I think kind of attracted me more to her, because she was different from everyone else. Yeah, Muffy's the most classically attractive. Celia's the cutest, and Nami is... she's tomboyish. I kind of prefer her hairstyle in this game. She's tomboyish and androgynous. I guess, even as a kid, I was an early appreciator of androgyny. One thing Magical Melody did improve on is that the dialogue boxes are very quick. In this, they still do that scrolling thing, which I don't like. Oh yeah, I need to talk to Dr. Hardy, so you can see this guy.
Ooh.
Look at that false eye. You'll notice there's not a lot of background music in this. There is here in the... what? Okay. There is here in the bar. And there is music in your farm. But what you have to actually do is find records. And then set those up. And then music will play at your farm. Oh yeah, that's right. That's probably Muffy's diary then.
Yeah.
If that is, the heart is referring to you specifically. That's how you can tell how your relationship with them is progressing. So, like, if that's Muffy's, then Celia's is up in her room at the farm. And Nami's is in the inn. She lives in the inn with the people who run the inn. Mugworts I generally like to hang on to, because the stamina in this game, it runs kind of like how it does in other games, but there's also a bit of a hunger mechanic. As you go through the game, your character will actually stop, and their stomach will growl. And if you don't eat anything, it's gonna keep doing that, and it's a little disruptive. Luckily, mugworts are everywhere. I want you to go home. Nobody likes you. See if I can find... I think around here is supposed to be secret recipes. Here you go. Tamamello? Tamakaro. There it is. Thankfully, time doesn't seem to progress when you're just standing there hungry. This guy's actually a pyrotechnician. He lives with his twin brother in a rocket over there somewhere. See if we can find it. There it is. Oh, these trees will get out of the way. That's a rocket. And there's this big dude who's actually an artist. Wally and his son are exercise freaks. Wally is Chris's husband. This is Gustafa's yurt. Which I always thought, I can't believe that's a word. And this is Wally's son. You also see him grow as you progress through the game. Q's kind of a little shit. Just a little bit. If you set up a stall to sell things, he'll come up and say, "How much is that thing?" "Cool. Well, too bad I don't have any money." And that's it. He doesn't buy anything. This is the farm I was referring to. One thing I think everyone was bummed about, and which I'm glad they added to the DS version, is the lady who lives here and helps out with the archaeologist. See if we can meet her. There she is. Flora. Everyone wished she was a bachelorette, but they didn't add her as one until Harvest Moon DS. Archaeology in this is pretty simple. You have this little spot, ask Carter for a trowel, and then start going. It's a little bit funky. You don't actually keep anything you find until you've stopped the digging and had a little cutscene with Carter, where he looks over everything you have. Yeah, Rock's an asshole. He's Tim's son. It doesn't look like Tim at all. Yeah, if only archaeology was so simple as just scratching the ground with a trowel and then God summoning something weird for you. Despite what it looks like, you can actually keep digging on the spots you've already dug on to find new things. This is a pretty good way to just waste the day if you've got free time. Just come to the dig site, and up until 5 PM you can keep digging, find new stuff to sell. I think a couple of the characters also like the things you find as gifts. Like, I think Nami likes them. Yeah, Gustav is not a creep. Rock is, though. I think you can identify this weird little skull you found is a fossil, but this funny little statue you found, that's just something weird. That is also true. Whoever you marry also affects what job your child eventually takes up. I was finding a lot more different things when I was testing this game. You can also find moonstones in here, which look more like jagged crystals. And you can also find old coins. You can find cool little artifacts for Carter, but only one per chapter, really. Between each chapters, as it progresses, the dig site will actually increase in size, and then you can find more things that way. But again, you can keep digging on spots you've already dug on, and continue to find new things. So, looking back, I don't quite see the purpose. There's Nami. Let's see if we can talk to her. I have no respect for your fence. There she is. Well, in that case, Carter would be the coasting bachelor. Like, I don't need to care about my farm anymore.
Ooh.
My husband's stable. Galen likes fish. Also, his wife dies in Chapter 2. This lady. Which is sad, but unavoidable. Oh, you'll get some. Muffy's always sad that she just isn't lucky in love. If you're outside when Van shows up, and when he leaves, you always get these cutscenes. Yeah, they're still killing the nice old lady even to this day. In Story of Seasons in Winter, the cool lady who helped you out when you started, she dies. One thing that's too bad is the dairy shipping up in your farm you can only use to ship dairy, really. You can't use it to ship crops. Nor can you use it to ship all these other things that you have. You have to actually go to Van, or sit around waiting for people to come by and then sell it to them. I think I remember hearing that the girl version is a little bit better. But I also remember hearing the girl version of the DS game has some more glitches added to it. Also, we go back here, the tree fuses out of the way, which is, I guess, is good. Or diffuses. I highly doubt you're going to buy anything, Murray. Thanks. Okay, Murray. You have your chance. You can sell your tools to them. Sometime they'll ask if they can buy your tools. You can buy new tools, but it's not worth it to actually sell it. And now he likes me a little bit more. What is the Ruby Spice glitch? I'm not quite sure what the Ruby Spice is, actually. After they bought a few things, they won't buy anymore. Just too bad. Come on, Chris, you always buy something. Son of a bitch. Damn it, Chris. You can't have my fucking tools. No. I have plenty to sell, you just don't want to buy any of it. I hate you people. Well, then do it. There's nobody stopping you. Literally no one in this town cares. Let's see what it's like. There's some amusing background music in some of these houses. Especially this one. Oh, it's not the house that's interesting. I misread that. Delicious salad. An egg, a tomato, and a grandma. This is exercise music. Well done. Yes, I could clip through the wall. Just barely, though. What do you want? Let's see if I can sneak up in their house. What? Oh, okay. What? I don't remember what this is. Interesting. I can see this taking a while. Alright, let's just do it. Yeah, I don't think there's actual purpose to this game. And once again, what the hell is this music? I think he's gonna kick my ass with this. Oh, right. Damn, Casey. Yeah, I always remember him kicking my ass at this, no matter what I did. Local farmer learns the meaning of the word humility. That's not gonna help you, dude. Well... Where do they sleep? Do they just sleep among the fireworks? Thank you, Catgut. I don't have anything to eat. There's his brother. I was looking for him. So yeah, not a whole lot of goals in this game. This is probably the most loose out of all of them. Yeah, we haven't seen Romana yet. I remember, I think... I'm not gonna eat the fossil, goddammit. I think Nami likes the fossils. Let's see. Oh, yeah, she does. Goo. That isn't good. In the DS version of this game, the Witch Princess actually sets up shop over here. Where this is supposed to be. Whatever this is. Back shed. Kitty! You can't steal a cat. Oh, if you do, this happens. I always thought that was hilarious. Unfortunately, all my free time is right as you're going to bed, so probably not gonna happen. Oh, there he is. Oh well, can't see Luna. Yeah, the deal with Nami is if you don't actually befriend her, or alternately marry her. Oh, am I passing out? Oh no. But she will actually leave the town. But if she was friends with you enough, she'll come back and say, "Yeah, kinda can't leave." Never mind. She has problems with her dad. Yeah, she's kind of Cliff, except worth giving a shit about. Probably. I don't remember. Hard to say how much I actually liked her. Or how likable she actually is. Because she does kind of have that I don't give a shit personality. Which only goes so far. I didn't take care of my chicken all day. Well, luckily it's just sitting outside, so... If you notice, you have multiple plots of land. These are different levels of quality. So, like, this one is fertile. The one in the back is most fertile. But the one closest to your house is the least fertile. And depending on the fertility of the ground where you place your, Jesus. The fertility where you grow your crop, that'll also affect the quality of the crop. Another thing that's kind of different is you can order male animals as well, and that will actually affect some of the other items you get. Like, you can get fertilized eggs and sell those instead of just putting them into the incubator and growing another chicken. This is where we can order animals. I'll buy a pond. Why the hell not? Eggs and milk. That's about all you can put in there. Yes, where you place your Jesus. This is the tool house. So, wait a minute. So you can take in or take out your different items. Depending on which better versions you get. And in here you store things like seeds and bird feed. There's also a record in here when you start the game. And you could put that record into the record player. See if we can find the record player. I think this was also an early game that had time progress while indoors. this is different. Yeah, I remember this. You choose what type of food you wanted to cook, and then you included the ingredients. It wasn't dependent on what type of cooking utensil you used, necessarily. I think this is a regular player. Yep, there it is. You can also sell the records, but I think it's very hard / impossible to get them back. So maybe not the best thing. But that's generally what a Wonderful Life is like, for the most part. Not the most entertaining game to watch. There's little interesting things, and there's... like, the changes they went with are interesting. Just from a game design standpoint. But it's a game that kind of tests your patience. It's just more protracted tedium the game. If you're a fan of Harvest Moon and want to try something a little different from all the other gameplay styles that they rehash for every other game, it's a pretty unique one. Worth looking into. But there are definitely better ones out there.